Hello everyone, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel Cap Social Network, also known as Capri Social Network. So in today's video, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to talk about black females that divest, and the same exact ones, ladies and gentlemen, who seem to quote unquote put white guys and other races of guys other than black guys on such a pedestal. The same ones, even if they may get done wrongfully on behalf of having a kid by a guy of another race, only for him to leave her after cheating on her, usually, because it's a well-known fact that the average non-black guy doesn't want a black woman for the most part, with the exception of very few. With that being said, I'm going to read some facts according to pewresource.com, .org, on behalf of the percentage of black American women that are married interracially compared to black American males that are married interracially. Although this statistics date back to 2015, which are some of the most recent data and statistics based upon interracial dating percentages on behalf of, once again, pewresearch.com. So after I get through showing some of these statistics courtesy of pewresearch.org, and after sharing my screen to show them, I'm going to show around 4 clips courtesy of TikTok on behalf of you same black sisters who feel like black women that may complain day in and day out about us black males on behalf of how some think that we are so beneath them, on behalf of you same black women that may happen to look at us lump all us into the same category based upon, for the most part, your preferences in picking men, some of the worst black men that you can find, some of the bottom of the totem pole black men, some of the most dysfunctional black men you can find, and in most cases black men that may have been in prison for X amount of years due to a major crime they may have committed. You same black women who go out there and have sex with these guys on purpose, only to have babies by these guys, so you can be able to brag about these guys, in the same breath complain about these same brothers, black brothers you pick. And that's one example of how, like I stated in the last video, a lot of you black sisters, where your main problem is you refuse to take accountability in your dating choices of black men. You same sisters who it came time for you to choose between picking either a nerdy black guy, and what I mean by a nerdy black guy is some of you will consider him as a guy that's a regular 9-to-5 brother who doesn't get into any trouble, who doesn't have a criminal record or background, just does all he can instead to do the right thing, to make an honest living, go to work, make an honest living, just so he could be able to stay out of trouble. In some cases, some of the main brothers that don't sag their pants, don't have any tattoos hardly at all, don't smoke any weed, don't drink any alcohol. But when it comes to guys that are not black, who happen to fit or lump into the same category, you rush getting into relationships with these guys, which is delusional in my personal and honest opinion. Anyway, let me read the statistics once again, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of pewresearch.org. bear with me for a minute, ladies and gentlemen, because I have to download it first before I read it to you and show it on behalf of one of my video files. Well, I just do it this way. Now, what I have highlighted on here, let me find it and bear with me once again for a minute. Now, right here, which says newly black men are twice as likely as newlywed black women to be intermarried. In 2015, once again, ladies and gentlemen, which was roughly 8 years ago, 24% of recently married black men were intermarried, compared with 12% of newly married black women. There are also notable gender differences among Asian newlyweds. Just over 1/3, 36% of newlywed Asian women were intermarried in 2015, compared with 21% of recently married Asian men. So, for all my sisters who think and want to paint that narrative that you're some of the most desired groups and races of women amongst white or Caucasian men, well, according to these statistics and facts that I just read, once again, courtesy of PewResearch.org, it's obvious that there are more African American males in interracial relationships as opposed to African American females. One reason could be why, because of how even Caucasian males have been going on social media complaining about how hard to deal with a lot of you are. One reason why, one of the main reasons why, when it all boils down to it, is because of your bad attitudes. Anyway, let me show clips. Let me share my screen once again to show 4 clips pertaining to this topic, all courtesy of TikTok. So bear with me once again, ladies and gentlemen.
What y'all have just been saying this whole entire time about your perspective on like black women and how black women can't be dominant.
We never say y'all can't be strong, independent, none of that stuff. We just said in a relationship you have to have some compromises.
The black women that are in that movement are so tired of that, and they're like, all right, well, let me try somewhere else because clearly I'm not appreciated. Black women want their love story too. Like, black women want their fairy tale too, but black women now don't feel like they can get that with black men.
I agree.
Because of the rhetoric that black men have against black women.
Excuse me, but my mic just got muted by mistake once again. Anyway, after showing this as the first clip, as a result of the topic or pertaining to the topic of African American women stating why and giving their theory on why it's much better to divest, to date interracially, I'm going to show 3 more clips, all courtesy of TikTok, just like this one is. So bear with me.
Can go date an Indian, a Hispanic, a white man. Y'all not the only options out here who think y'all doing well for yourself, and that's the problem.
You know what's the problem?
Y'all done put yourselves on a pedestal when it comes to black women, and y'all need to bring it on down because we have gotten to start dating outside our race.
Bitch, you think it's small. We need to be thinking big. You need to be thinking big, bitch. You need to be thinking big, bitch. Think big, bitch.
So what's up, everybody? It's me, Demetra Ken. I want to tell y'all a little story. So the people you see in this picture, at the top is Asia Maynard, and at the bottom is Isaiah James Crown. Now, Asia went on a date with Isaiah. She told her sister Tara that she met somebody new and she was going to go on a date with him and all of that. And so Tara said her and her sister were supposed to meet up the next day to go out or do whatever they're going to do. And the next day, which would have been February 19th, she called and her sister did not answer the phone. So she got concerned and she went to the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department and said, hey, my sister is missing. I haven't heard from her. And they, said, oh, I'm sure she'll turn up soon. But then they later told them that Asia was actually reported dead by that of Isaiah. Now, I guess he called the police at about 8 o'clock that morning and said, she was dead and, at his house. All right. And so the police department told her family, it doesn't seem like there's any foul play involved. In fact, they're saying they're not even calling it a homicide. They're calling it a death investigation. And so her sister Tara was like, we went to the morgue and she had blood in her eyes and her ears and her clothes were drenched in blood. Now that sounds, it don't sound like no natural causes to me, because they're actually saying that they, being her family, she was healthy. She's 29 years old and she had 4 kids and all of that. So she didn't do drugs or any of that kind of stuff. Now they're also saying that Isaiah has been implicated in some other deaths and overdoses due to drugs. Allegedly, I don't have any hard facts about that. But I want to say this to the divesting community, and I'm new to that whole term. The divesting community is that of black women who say they are divesting from black men. And so I want to say this, and please do not take this the wrong way, but y'all talk about, well, black men kill black women at a high rate and blah, blah, blah. They're the number one killer of black women. That is not true. Actually, the number one killer of black women is heart disease, and then there's cancer and diabetes and a whole bunch of other stuff. Now, also, death or homicide actually is about proximity. So you're going to do things to the people you're close to. But the other thing is, when Ray Ray and Pookie kill black women, they go to jail and they're held accountable. But as y'all can see here, and in the case of Lawrence Smith Fields, when white men kill black women, they don't even get a slap on the wrist. They get told, the family gets told, oh, well, he seems like a nice guy, and he doesn't get any consequences at all. So y'all might want to think twice before going out on dates, simply because you're trying to get away from your black man, even to the point of you're not even vetting these people. Because I guarantee you, in RIP, God rest the dead, I'm not trying to shame her, but if she would have did her homework, she might have found out this was not a good dude, right? So keep it real with your sisters, y'all.
And similar to what this beautiful sister just stated, I find it quite strange. I don't know if a lot of you people do as well. How anytime, like she just stated, either Ray Ray or Pookie murders a black female, they usually face serious consequences by doing jail time. Whereas anytime a Caucasian or a white male usually murders a black female, he hardly faces any consequences or repercussions. I also find it even more strange, tell me if I'm right or wrong, ladies and gentlemen, that every time a black female goes missing, it hardly ever makes the national headlines of the news. As opposed to if a Gabby Petito goes missing, it crosses the screens of every major news outlet. I'm just saying, if you want to debate me on it, you're free to do so in the bottom of the comment section of this video. I don't know what it is about you black females that makes it seem like your life is so insignificant, especially when you compare your livelihoods to the average Caucasian female's livelihood. How anytime the average Caucasian female goes missing, it's always a big man hunt, or should I say woman hunt. I never could quite understand it. Anyway, to put another way, a big search and look out for them anytime white females go missing for extended periods of times, compared to when the same amount of black females go missing, it just gets quote unquote swept under the rug usually, especially when they usually get like this beautiful sister just stated in this clip. Anytime they go out on dates, when Caucasian males only to never come back or be found back alive after going out on dates with these white males. The same white males a lot of you sisters once again like to put so much on a pedestal, who are not perfect by a long shot, because there are, whether you know it or not, both data and statistics, ladies, to all my black sisters, show that now the ratio of white males that are in prison is bigger than any other races combined. If you don't believe me, you could look it up yourself. Not only that, but just like how you always like to shame us black men and talk down on us, upon us, dog us out anytime we may have kids when you sisters only to leave you, and how you just go out of your way to call us sorry ass niggas and on and on. Well, so are white men just as much of deadbeats as it is us black men. I'm just saying once again, and if you may have a problem or may want to debate me on what I just stated, my 2 cents, once again, feel free to do so. Anyway, I'm going to play one more clip pertaining to the topic.
Or am I tripping? I have seen more white.
Basically in that video, he talks about how he's seen more white guys with black women today he's ever seen before. I want to give a little bit of insight. The way that you get treated by a white man, completely different from how you get treated by a black man. White men will actually date you, like take you out on dates, like fancy dinners and stuff. I've noticed that with some black men, they tend to put a little bit less effort into dates. Yo, like come kick back at the crib. Let's ball up in the basement. White men will also take you a lot seriously a lot quicker. aka they'll want to tie the knot, as opposed to black men. They tend to take their time, and sometimes you could be with a guy for 10 plus years and he won't even propose then. And will also take the load off of you being a partner in the relationship. That's where they'll treat you like a lady and have a little bit less expectations when it comes to financial and just in every which way. Black men, I realize it's really 50-50. Now, I understand that relationships aren't always 50-50, but I will say that I just noticed with white men, they just put a lot more effort. I have the ability to sit more into my feminine energy. This doesn't go for everybody. Every race is gonna have some good and some bad. Ladies, if you have never tried it, consider going for it. Love my black brothers, but at the end of the day, homegirl's trying to walk down the aisle one day. Statistically speaking, physically, this is not me. Black men are the least most likely to propose. Again, this is not for everybody, because damn, are they sexy. It's all about what you want in your life.
Excuse me, folks, once again, for my mic being muted. But with that being said, I want you to once again leave your comments on this entire topic and video. Also, make sure you like the video, you comment on it, last but not least, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, you guys take care.